Hey, welcome to Website Wednesdays. This is Spy Labs. I'm going to give you a break from your regularly scheduled lives for Website Wednesdays. Decided to make them a showdown because, I live in the West. It's a thing. So, are you ready? You ready for the showdown? I love this song. It's so ridiculous. If you've ever seen that film, if you've not seen that film, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you definitely must see it. It's iconic. So let's get right into it. And here we have gonna do a screen share. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. And let's put this up here. And we're just going to hit play. And hopefully you can see that and you can see me too. Oh, that's the very end. Sometimes these things don't turn out the way you want. So here we go. Website Wednesdays, showdown style. Today we have, first, before I talk about our contenders, which you've probably seen if you read the description, here are the things we're going to look at on their websites. We're going to look at their content quality, right? We're going to look at how simple and easy to use is their website. This is also called UX or UI. We're going to look at the mobile responsiveness, which means, does it look okay or even decent on a phone or a tablet? Because sometimes we use tablets. We're going to look at their SEO, which means how they're ranked by search engines. And that's a whole monster. I'm just going to touch on that because that I could spend literally a week really analyzing that. We're going to look at their messaging. Does their site lead to a sale? Because the point of having a site is not just a pretty picture for everybody to see. The point is typically having a sale, right? And last of all, we're going to look at real contact information, because I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever bought something online and then something went wrong and you can't contact the people that you paid the money to, mind-blowingly irritating. All right, here we go. First up, we have Bob Dylan versus Bob Ross. So these are the icons I chose today. We all know Bob Dylan, folk singer, American icon, guy with the most graveliest voice, and he was a thing, right? He's still a thing. And I might want to mention, still alive, still kicking. Way to hit it, Bob. And then we have Bob Ross, the sunshiny guy that we all watched on public TV when we were young. He's our mood-lifting painting icon, American icon. So here's the showdown. First of all, here's Bob Dylan's site, just a screenshot. I'm going to take you over to the actual site so I can show you a few things about it. If I can get out of this screen share, and I'm going to share actually, oh gosh, hold on. I don't want to share the screen that I'm on. I apologize for being a little bit disorganized. I'm not so in all this. Okay, I'm going to share this screen, number 2. And that is, we are going to start with Bob Dylan. So here we go. I apologize for also, it should be bigger. So Bob Dylan, here is his site. This is his newest album. These are, it looks like on first glance that these are albums and like little quotes that link out to different things that people have said about him and his music, which is great, actually. Great for SEO. So let me pull in the other. Sorry, I got too many things going on at once. This is our first showdown, so please be patient. I've got multiple things happening here. So we're going to look at content quality, right? I rated him. Let me pull up this thing a little separately so I can see it down at the bottom. Oh my gosh. If there was, yeah, it's doing a different thing. I don't want to show this whole thing right now. Ooh, can I make it small? Can I make it? No, I can switch it. Well, I apologize for that. I'm just going to move. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So content quality, I gave him a 9. Right? Because I think that anybody's coming to this site, they want to see Bob Dylan's music, and that's what it's all about here. Right? And images also, I gave him a 9 because there's a lot of images, and that's great. Right? That makes it more interesting. If this was all text, it would be horribly, horribly boring. So for user experience, navigation, he does have this up here, which is nice. But in my opinion, this is kind of a mess down here. And if I get away from that bar, I don't really know where to go. It's just a clicking party, and that's not really a great thing. For his URL, I gave him a 10 because bobdylan.com, that's just what you want. That works. His load time on this site was more than 30 seconds, which is like super, super fail. You need to have a really, really quick load time in order to be considered successful in that area. Consistent branding, I gave him a 7. Really, if he was a modern performer, I would have given him less than that. But considering this is like 40 years worth of his work, I figure, at least he has like some old timey fonts, and like there's some similarities happening here. Although like as far as the color and the style, it's kind of all over the place. One thing that really counted against Mr. Dylan is that you see this little thing here that says not secure. His site is not optimized for, it doesn't have SSL. So there's no security certificate for this site, which is not good. All right, so he does like when you click on this first picture of him, boom, it pops over to this, which is an interface where you could buy it, and that's awesome. That's that in his messaging leads you to a sale. I give him a 10 out of 10. So that's awesome. So here we get into the SEO. First, let's do mobile responsiveness. So mobile responsiveness, take a look. Everything's still on there. It works good, right? It looks okay. All the little blocks line up, so that's great. But take a look at his score here. 9 out of 100. Not cool, actually. If you look, where's the load time for the entire site? Yeah, time to interactive, 38 seconds. That's hugely way too long. Also, I mean, I don't want to go through all this. I have stuff, we're not going to get super detailed about that. But let's just say For SEO, Mr. Dillon did not do that well. Although for social links and posting, he did great. He's still posting, I think, here on, no, there's some more rankings. Here's a really cool tag cloud of his stuff. But look, like he been in September, he's posted a couple of times, August, June, July, June, that's all good. Instagram, even he has some stuff, not a lot. So there's some activity happening there, which is great. One thing that I thought was really interesting and kind of terrible was that, actually, I'll get to it a little bit later. So Mr. Dillon, not your score was not that sweet. Your music is sweet. Your score is not too sweet. So here are the shockers for Mr. Dillon. I got to switch these again. 80% of the people who visited his site were looking for whiskey. Now, he does have a really cool Bob Dylan branded whiskey, and that site is amazing. And I might get into that another day, but we're going to just like kind of stay on focus, especially switching back from the presentation to everything. And the only keywords that were used on the site were the music of Bob Dylan. Granted, those are very powerful keywords, but he could have used Americana, folk music. He could have used, music of the 60s and 70s. He could have used so many things. He could have used the song titles as meta keywords, and he did not. The site, and again, you guys saw, the site was ranked 9 out of 100 with Google Tools, which got to do better than that, I would think. So next up, we got Bob Ross, who has gained his notoriety later in life as a painting icon. And yeah, I'm not going to go down his scores without showing you his thing here. So let's go to Bob Ross, bobross.com. Yes, that's awesome. So for content quality, I gave him an overall 8. I probably should have given him a 9. But we have this very emotionally compelling-ish, image of like cute little Bob Ross face looking at you. And so, yeah, I think, and it's right to the point, the joy of painting, that's always been his thing. And it's kind of a play on the joy of cooking. I don't know if you guys know about that. That was a big book back in the 70s, maybe 60s. I don't know. And so images, I gave him a 9. For user experience, navigation is awesome because look at this. He's got an upper menu. He's got contact info right here, which is undoubtedly, his team because he's dead. So yes, it has to be his team, Karen. And look at this menu. Just amazingly cool, right? It's little icons. And we're just going to go ahead and test the, let's test his mobile responsiveness early. And yes, so the menu over here is great. That's great. Okay. So navigation, I gave him a 9 out of 10. Probably just because of the way it's a little funky to come out on the side and cover up the image on mobile, but it's a great way to make it seen and make it really accessible. His URL, right on. His load time, ladies and gentlemen, was 2.2 seconds compared to Bob Dylan's 38 seconds. So way, way, way better. Consistent branding, I gave him a 10 because of these cool little watercolored like icons are all over the place. They've done a good job. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's well done. It's well designed. And see, there's a lot of space. There's clarity. There's images. See the separators between the little posts here. It's all well done. And Bob Ross's team has a security certificate. So he got a 10 on the SSL. And Bob Dylan got a 0. So mobile responsiveness, which we just tested, was a 10. For SEO on Bob Ross, I gave him a total of 8. He does have more than one H1 tag. So an H1 tag is supposed to be like the main title of your site. Like it's the biggest text. It's the number one heading. That's why it's called H1. They have 2. So that was counted against them. They've got lots of keywords. They've got lots of backlinks. Here's some keyword density ratings. I rate on local SEO, but obviously Bob Ross is not a local thing. He's an international thing. And social links and posting, let's take a look. Bob Ross Official, they posted 4 hours ago. They posted 6 hours ago. They posted 23 hours ago. They posted yesterday. So that's a win. That's totally a win. And then what do we got here? Oh, here's some more things. So yeah, that was interesting. Does the site lead you to a sale? Yes, it does, right? Painting supplies, books and DVDs, deal of the day, take a class, become a teacher. Those first 5 things are all for sales. So that's a win as well. Surprises from Bob Ross. The first one I just stumbled upon and almost showed you there. The majority of people who are coming to this site are looking for greeting cards. So that was interesting. Also, I'm going to pull this back over here. The majority of the traffic that was coming to the site is from people from an art supply site called 2-Inch Brush. I don't know if Bob Ross Inc. owns that site or what, but the keywords were on point and the site was rated 53 out of 100 compared to Bob Dylan's like 9 or something, right? So who's left standing? The winner is, as you can guess, Bob Dylan is 47. Bob Ross is 62. So go Bob Ross. Big fan of painting and Bob Ross. So yeah, I'm getting messages all over the place. So if you want to see the site reports for Bob Ross and Bob Dylan, email us at hello@Spylabs, and we'd be happy to send that to you. And if you have any questions, just reach out, and hope you enjoyed Website Wednesdays. Sorry, I'm just it's hard to maneuver and talk, if you've done these lives. It's a lot of things at once. I wore my cowboy hat for Website Wednesdays. But I hope that gave you some understanding a little bit about what's important to have on a website and how it's important that it works. Because there's this common misperception that a website is like a little picture that just goes on the internet and you never have to touch it again. But there's so many moving parts, and they're all important for traffic and sales and conversions and usage. So thanks for joining us. I will be back with our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy your Wednesday. Adios.